Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I think that is better. Okay, once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming through to our press conference. We'll start right away. We'll sing the national anthem and then do a prayer. Let me invite Mr. Update to lead us in the anthems. Honorable Segirinya Mohammed. And then, all the way from Nakawa East, Honorable Balimwezo Ronald Sobuga. He's a part-time pastor, he's a full-time pastor actually, to lead us in prayer after Segirinya's lead us in the anthems. Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hands. United, free for liberty, together we always stand. Olutalo luwedde, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule. Olutalo luwedde, tuliyambale ngule, tulivimba mu Uganda epya. Ne Bosco ng'agenze, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule. Bosco ng'agenze, tuliyambale ngule, tulivimba mu Uganda epya. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We are wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. Is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. On new Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Thank you so much, Honorable Julius Senjui. Thank you, Honorable Segirinya, Mr. Update. He has remixed the song. Mr. President, I beseech you to give one of these days a collabo to Mr. Update. Honorable Balimwezo, kindly lead us in prayer.
Katusabe. Kitango omulungi nannyini ggulu Bayibuli etugamba tubeere bagumu tetutya kubanga gw'oli naffe. Kyetuba tujja olunaku olwaleero nga tuleeta eggwanga lyaffe Uganda mu maaso go. Taata omanyi butabanguko obuliwo nga buleeteddwa gurupu emu. Tumanyi nti taata oli naffe. Tukusaba Mukama Katonda waffe otukuume. Era Mukama Katonda waffe mu kaseera kano nga pulezidenti waffe agenda kwogerako eri ensi. Taata Mukama Katonda mubeere. Muwe omukisa Mukama Katonda kwogera eri ensi n'ensi okumutegeera. Era ensi etegeere nno nti ke kaseera taata Mukama Katonda tuyingire ensi ensuubize. Tukwebaza kubanga okikoze. Ndeeta buli ssekinnoomu mu ngalo zo. Kusaba taata omutekeko obukuumi, teeka ku bantu b'obukuumi. Sitaani ajja kutta kubba na kuzikiriza. Tatuyinaako obuyinza nakatono mu linnya lya Yesu kubanga tuli naawe. Weebale taata kubanga okikoze mu Kristo Yesu. Amen.
Please take your seats. Once again, you are welcome to this press conference. I will be making a couple of communications. I'll invite some leaders, and then I'll invite our presidential candidate to make a communication too. But very briefly, all of us have been watching what's been happening in the country, the intimidation, the brutality, the untold persecution by the regime towards us, towards our presidential candidates, towards our supporters. All of this really intended to shake us, intended to break our resolve, intended to slow us down. But what's important is our resolve is a lot stronger than ever before. We are now more convinced than ever before that there must be change of leadership. Because if the leaders we have today are treating us the way they're treating us, surely we cannot stand them another 5 years. So if there's any Ugandan out there who had any doubt about why we need to change government, I hope that now they know we must change government as soon as possible. And so come 14th, we call on everybody out there, let's go out there, cast our ballots, speak with a voice so loud, so that change gets to happen. We should not continue to live this way. And the state continues to do many different things, to intimidate, to shake us, like I'm saying, none of which will succeed. This morning I read a headline in the New Vision, that's the government newspaper, which said 200 NUP leaders have crossed to the NRM. And I said, wow, who are these leaders? Because we, the leaders of NUP, do not know about them. So I don't know who anointed them leaders. And then eventually they crossed over. Again, these are the many gimmicks that are going to keep happening. You're going to see a lot more. So you remember that there's a time police and the military came here. They raided our offices and took all manner of paraphernalia. They took t-shirts, they took berets, they took umbrellas. So don't be surprised if every so often, because they took t-shirts in hundreds of them. They brought a huge truck, military truck, in which they packed all these different things. And now we are beginning to see these t-shirts at work. So every so often you'll be seeing 200, 300, they will dress them in these t-shirts. And then they say NUP leaders have crossed over. So these things are not surprising. They'll keep happening, expectedly. But ours is to remain focused. Ours is to remain focused on what we are pushing, on what we are pursuing, which is change. And even when some genuine leaders or some genuine supporters, every once in a while, will fall off, because that is expected too. That there will be one or two who will drop the ball, who will fall off along the way. Of course, even when it's two, the media will exaggerate it and make it seem like the whole NUP has crossed over. I think for us, what's most important is, even when one of us gets compromised by the regime and they cross over, one, they don't cross over with the rest of us, they cross over on their own. But two, and most importantly, the issues that they have been raising remain. The poverty remains. The lack of medicine in our hospitals remains. The unemployment among our young people remains. The brutality, the untold suffering, the human rights violations, they remain. So that's why the rest of us remain, because the critical issues are not addressed. So if today the state decides now we have bought Joel Senyonyi at whichever amount of money, Senyonyi might cross over, or anybody else. But the issues remain. And Ugandans continue to suffer. And those Ugandans who are suffering will remain focused on the real issues. So they might try and point a few people here and there, but the critical issues that we are raising remain. And we shall keep pursuing them. Tuze tulaba ebigenda maaso mu ggwanga lyattu lino okutyobola eddembe lyaffe lya presidential candidate waffe n'abawagizi baffe era nga kulembeze waffe n'abakulembeze bannange bajja byogerako naye bino ebigenda mu maaso okutta abantu baffe okubatulugunya abangi bapooca na biwundu eyo gye bali bagezaako tusala sipiidi bagezaako tunafiya naye fetuli bamalirivu. In fact, bwaba nga waliyo bannayuganda eyo ababadde bakyabuusabuusa nti oba Mwami Museveni agende oba tagenda, kasuubire nti kaakati ansa bagirina nti omukulu ono ne banne baafuga nabo bawummule, kubanga olaba batuyisa bwe bati sure tetuyinza kubakkiriza kutuyisa kakanja kutubonyaabonya myaka 5 emirala. N'olwekyo bannayuganda tubakubiriza yonna gye muli 14 January tuveeyo tugende tulonde, tuveeyo eddoboozi lyaffe tuliyimuse mu buli ngeri yonna, wabeerewo enkyukakyuka. Wakati buli omu tali safe, ne bannamawulire temuli safe. Bannamawulire bannammwe bali malwaliro bakubiddwa. Usanga sina bawagizi bakyagulanyi naye bakubiddwa ku lwaki? Bakola mulimu gwabwe lwakulaga nsi kyekigenda maaso. So ffenna obulamu bwaffe buli mu katyabaga, tulina okukyusa obukulembeze magirawo. Gavumenti yamwa mitibu habura bajja bikola byonna okutiisa okuteekawo propaganda okugezaako okutuserebya naye fetuli bamalirivu lunaku olwaleero ku makya nalabye eggulire eribadde mu lupapula lwa gavumenti lwa New Vision nga lugamba nti abakulembeze ba NUP 2 basaze eddiiro beeyuze ku NRM neneebuuza bano bakulembeze kika kibaawa bafa abakulembeze ba NUP tetubamanyi bano 2 bagamba nti bakulembeze ba NUP naye of course bakikola okuteekawo embeera kubanga beekwata ku busubi akazi tubakawulira njabajjukiza nti weeks eziyise poliisi n'amagye bajja wano ku kitebe kyaffe baatulumba era ne bawamba ebintu byaffe bajja n'ekimotoka kiroole ekya poliisi ne bateekamu t-shirt 10,000 ne bateekamu enkofiira ne bateekamu zi umbrella n'ebirala twali tulowooza nno nti bajja bituddiza naye batandise okubikozesa era mujja biwuliranga nti kakati abantu 10 aba NUP basaze eddiiro zeezo t-shirt zibabambaza ne bagamba nti kakati NUP tekyalina bawagizi ffe weetuli ate mwattu n'abamu ku ffe abawagizi abaddala bayinza osala eddiiro bayinza okubaggula kubanga buli omu talisitedde bulungi naye oli ne babamugulirira n'asala eddiiro ye nga ye ensonga z'abadde ayogerako ensonga ze tuliko teziweddeewo obulyake tebuweddeewo ekibbataka tekiweddeewo ebbula ly'emirimu likyaliwo amalwaliro agataliimu ddagala embeera bwetyo bwekyali so kati ensonga zo zisigalawo kyovudde olaba ffe ensonga tujja ziremerako paka ndisenyonyi ne baba n'amugula leero oba ssente mmeka oba omukulembeze yenna omulala n'atuvaako ffe bannayuganda basigadde weetuli era tukyatulugunyizibwa era tujja kulemera ku nsonga zino paka ng'enkyukakyuka ebaddewo mu buli ngeri yonna. I want to invite my colleague leaders to make 1 or 2 communications, and then we shall invite our presidential candidate. Let me begin with our Deputy President in charge of Northern Region, Comrade Lina Zedrika Waru, to come and address us briefly, and then we'll proceed. Thank you.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
And everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I bring a lot of greetings from northern Uganda, from Koboko, from Yumbe, from Kitgum, from Kabong, from all over northern Uganda. We are very set. We are very set under extremely abnormal circumstances. We are encouraged, Mr. President, by the reading in Psalms 122, Psalms 112, and that Psalms encourages us that you will not fret of evil tidings. We are very fixed and trusting in the word of the Lord and the promises of the Lord. That's why we do not fear any evil tidings at all. Resolved as we are, we see intimidations. Our offices were broken into, our laptops were taken, our phones were taken, including my own as we were on the campaign trail. They are using every means possible. Even the buying, by the way, up to yesterday, someone was still calling me, please, we need to meet, we need to meet so that we can, that one I told him, please, forget it until after 15th, because we shall now be the one giving you a position. So, the intimidation, the buying, the panic button is still going on. Upon the leaderships, all of us, we see when the buying has failed with some of us, the crossing has failed, there is now malicious propaganda going on. You know, every day somebody somewhere is searching me to see whether, You know, I have a skeleton that I have not confessed to my bishops and priests. So, the latest one, the first one was that I'm so evil and I've gotten money from NRM so that I can defect. But they have seen I am very steady. The other one now is that I'm calling upon the world and portraying NUP as a violent institution. We are not violent entities. My 2 degrees are on conflict transformation, peace building. How do we sit at table? And that is the official position of NUP. We do not subscribe to any form of violence, whether by acts, whether by omission, or so whatever is going on that I am now representing NUP, calling upon everybody to riot, to go violent. That is a naked lie. It is a continued failed propaganda. It has totally failed. I am a very peaceful person. I don't even remember whether I ever fought growing up. So calling and putting those words, and moreover in Uganda, which I don't speak, is a total joke. It's actually a joke. But my call to all of us is come 14th of January, let us go and vote. The most powerful expression is our power under Article 1. Power belongs to us. Let's go and vote. Let us protect our votes. Let us make sure we remain non-violent. And please do not continue to give that malicious propaganda any more prominence, because it is not from NUP. It's not from me. It is not. It is a propaganda. And the next one, I think they will be attaching me naked to somebody, but I don't care. I love my nakedness, you know. It is okay. It's okay. So this one here about the violent call to violence, I condemn it. They are continuing to do whatever it takes to make us dirty, to make us angry, to make us look what they want us to be. We are not. I put it to all of us. We are non-violent. We are too powerful with our power as enshrined under the Constitution. So my call is, do not give that that propaganda, that malicious propaganda, any more prominence. And finally, my heart goes to all of us. When I said people power today, our power was going a bit down. But I totally understand, as a mother, the brutality meted on the children. The latest being here today, I just saw one of our comrades was coming for this press conference. He was knocked, maliciously knocked. His leg is fractured into 2. I saw you taking the pictures. The malice is going on. And as we go to 2014, to 2021, on January 14th, they are actually heightening it up. Yesterday I got a call. One of our comrades was actually abducted also from his houses. Many of our candidates are no longer sleeping in their homes. Many of our agents. But please, the Lord, trust in the Lord, the power of the Lord, and focus on Okwambala Ngule to wear the crown. Those who are defecting as I end, those were first of all, in my view, not even NUP members. They were thinking of today. They were thinking with their stomach. For us, we are thinking and reasoning with our hearts. We are reasoning and thinking and framing and creating a new Uganda with our hearts. And I want to call on all the women of Uganda, everywhere you are. Step up your game in solidarity, because they are killing our children, our husbands, our brothers. So, as women, when we rose in 2006, our voices were heard in Juba peace process. At first, they said, no, you're a bunch of disgruntled widows and so on, like Lina. But when we organized the Women's Peace Caravan, and that's an example of how I subscribe in practice to peaceful resolution of conflicts, we were able to have our representation. representation and voices in Juba and the outcome. So I'm calling on all the women of Uganda, young and old, come together. Let's reason and peacefully deliver Uganda on the 14th of January with our votes. Let's vote massively and let us protect our votes. Do not give any minute to those malicious propaganda. Those who are doing evil by words, by actions, let us leave them where they belong, in the evil world. But we are praying for them for conversion. And I want to end by saying, we are only left with a few days. Together, we shall, and we are going to create and deliver a new Uganda, which is peaceful, which is inclusive, which respects human rights, which respects every human being and every human dignity and every human life and every human part. Thank you very much. I say this for God and my country. Our default, Andro Amemudua, oh Gabani campaign, Kisingoni, Sitika video as I already around the Kini, Mabai Kyonve, Bama, a Toto, da Enzoni, or Kudanzeyo, Luganda si. Lemia video that Tikaku, Adoskula Rodi Mabili Digli, Rigi, Asianju Ziza, peace building in practice, non-violent. I am a disciple of that school of thought. So, aleta di yemini duwaru rimanya bako amaki gera ni laba zikivi ni sadzinga mabuswa as mazila kisa za mavile wako hadadi miarwa de ababinde media tika amavuti amanarifu ariba bibasu jwa irini bongo ekari susi ata mangba ba modro ani amokoti January udumudri ni susi amuki voti be amuki voti bera amuki akuwa ku ateke amavile voti da agabi di odekwa ni usidi adini odekwa ku usi iko odekwa da midwife driko. You do not leave the sight of the baby. So odekwa ndongo si amavile ra le ameziki oposi le amake ama akivi no rikoko le ama akivi ni tualo le ama Nikira madukida fa idepi onti the people the woro ani ale tamodu kwete video da imi awadikako imi anyu video dara awade for hangere oritia in Yumbe. As I go to sit, there was a nice music for His Excellency saying we don't want yellow because this yellow which is killing us, this yellow which has brought poverty, with this yellow, ale yellow ko aga yellow si, ale yellow ko aga yellow si, yellow ba odipini aga yellow si, yellow ale tipini aga yellow si, ale bobi e, ale bobi e, ale bobi e, ale bobi e. Bobby, that didn't repeat it. Ale Bobby, thank you.
Our default Wangiri. Ale Bobby. Thank you, Mama. Let's invite our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda, the Honorable Jolly Bugisha, to speak to us briefly as well. People
power.
People power.
Our power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Chagurani.
Our president.
Our president 2021. Amen. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Charles. You have heard. I'm the Vice President in charge of Western Region, which runs from Chiriandongo up to Soro. It is quite a big area. I carry greetings from the people of that area. I must mention straight that the people of Western Region love Chagurani. You don't even know. There's no way I can explain
because everyone has been thinking that because the current government, the majority of the people come from there, that would have no support. But I want to inform you that beginning from Chiriandongo, in Burisa, in Kagadi, in Chisoro, in Kanungu, down even in Chiruhura, at the doorstep of the current president, everyone loves NUP, everyone loves Chaguranyi, and I want to assure you that come the 14th, we are going to overwhelmingly support my president, Robert Chaguranyi. People power. Power. I heart with everyone that is hurting because of the brutality that is happening to us. Of course, the death of our son, the recent death, of course, touches everyone. And I carry condolences from Western region. And I want to say that even the people out there, even when some of them have not died, they have had a taste of tear gas, they have had a taste of pepper spray, and what is annoying everyone is that we are told that those substances are not for human consumption. They are old and expired, and that means that each one of us in Western region, in addition to these other people in different areas, we are testing poison. We don't know what is going to happen in the next 6, 7, 1 year time. Because we probably will all be dead, I don't know. So we are a little bit scared, but I want to say that despite that, we are standing strong and we are waiting for the D-Day when we are going to vote our candidate into power. Western region, I'm going to give a brief report, especially with regard to the campaign trail where we were. It was good. It was good. Right from Kisoro, we were very warmly welcomed, and that old saying of Igana Kuigana, 100% over 100% from Kisoro is now coming to us. And when the president was there, they promised us, we had a very huge turn-up, and they promised us 100%. I have already mentioned about Chiruhura. The district of the president, we were warmly received, but of course we were blocked from addressing the people, but people would run after us wherever we went, in Kazo, in Uganda, in Muwonge, and in Toro is overwhelming. Kasese is very, very good, and I expect more than, 92%. Then that part of Yoro, there is this district where we went last, where the minister had been swearing that we would not be able to address the people. On top of getting so many people, we even slept, in the district, and yet all the people, the authorities didn't want even to step there. In Mbarara, it was very good. It was very good, and I believe that all of you were watching and you saw it. In Isinjiro, in Ntungamo, the birthplace of the First Lady, Mama Babi Chaguranyi, the turn-up was very, very wonderful, and we promised that we are also going to get many votes from there. But what I want to mention perhaps here is that just as we have been preparing for canvassing for votes, we need now to gather together and see how to protect our vote. Because even the youngest child, when you talk about, they tell me that, you know what, we are giving your president a vote, but how are you going to keep it from these thieves? And you can imagine if the smallest child knowing that this government is full of thieves. Thieves who don't only steal votes, but who steal land, who have been stealing our money, who have even stolen our identity. Because there are many people in Western Uganda who cannot stand up and talk and say, look here, we want change. And yet they tell me that behind closed doors, they want to give us votes. So we have that challenge, But I want to believe that as we are gathered here, we are going to put our heads together and see how to do it. Otherwise, I thank you so much for the work you are doing. Thank you for the support. Thank you, media. You are the ones that are keeping us alive when we are in Bushenyi. This pepper spray was sprayed in my car, and it was all over the place before I knew it. So thank you for keeping us alive, because I know that if we don't have you, we would be dead by now. People power.
Power.
I don't know if I have to say it in Runyankore briefly, but in Runyankore I'm thanking nimbebaza bwa support imutweire na mnongi mwaba mahurre yenda kwebaza president kandi kumusasira ahabwo kuferwa security we na mutabano witu ukiryo mwirwaro kandi munywano wanya wa mahurre yenda kuba hereza report briefly kugira ngo abantu bo mu Western Uganda, all those districts have mentioned in English, they support Robert Chagulani, and they are going to vote for the umbrella plan the 14th next year. Kuya wechina agambaho no kugira ngo challenge y'ikitwine kandi eyinkumanya kutwaza kuhanduringa hati now that we are here nekwatirine no kwerinda abashuma abatwibireho bururu n'abana abatonu bakimanya n'abakekuru bakimanya abatatwibireho bururu bwonka kuyaho n'amataka gaitu n'esente zaitu n'ebintu bitu byona okugaitaho na identity, because abantu abinji they are living in fear. Nibaturo mubwoba tubakubasa kugira hibaza nibatina polisi nibatina tiagasi so mbendeza kugira ngo twayerundi inaha katurebe kutwabasa kubasa ekintu ekyo ruhanga ryo mu bwezi bwitu. Hata nanye naza kweshongore cyeshongoro ekitwire ntweshongoro mukaru twine Bobi Chagulani twine Bobi Chagulani twine Bobi Chagulani twine Bobi Chagulani. Thank you very much.
Reverend Mnonga Honorable Ranga Kumusha abanyambara abanyankore bakiga batoro mbaramuse bagengwa hame. Let me now invite our Deputy President in charge of Central Region. He will speak English, I guess, with Soga. Honorable Puga, Nayatu Wemuka Akapera.
Thank you, Joe, Mr. President, and colleagues, deputies. Comrades in the struggle, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a mixed bag of greetings from Uganda region. Of course, aware of the tribulations we've gone through with our president during our canvassing of votes in the region. I can fully understand the state in which the NRM and leadership are in as far as Uganda region is concerned. I am here to confirm their fears that Uganda moved and therefore not go back.
Power.
I don't know whether that makes the situation suicidal, but it will not change anyway. I bring you messages of thanks from the people of Masaka. To all of you, Mr. President, and the rest of the comrades and the media that traveled to Masaka yesterday to send off our comrade and brother, Frank, who was murdered in cold blood. Frank, at 25, had not started his life, but had a dream. That dream was cut short. We can only promise that we shall live to fight for what Frank stood for as long as we live. And in our ranks, many Franks will rise to occupy the virtue that he left. You're also aware that so many districts in Uganda are part of the ban that was imposed by the EC. In Greater Masaka, we could not campaign in Masaka City and Masaka, the district. Chotera is out of reach, and Rakai, including Kalungu. I'd like to invite the country to appreciate the fact that these districts border each other, and the EC has not given us a mark where COVID starts from. So we are stranded. These are very active districts. Between Masaka, the city, and say Kalungu, I mean, one foot is in the city, another foot is in Kalungu, and you cannot go into the other because there's COVID. And these are districts where Mr. Museveni just campaigned and left with foot in the mouth because he never found support. We understand his sense of disputedness, but on the behalf of the people of Uganda, I want to assure NUP supporters that we are ready, that whether the president will be stopped from campaigning in those districts, Uganda is right. And I can speak without any fear or contradiction. Lastly, comrades, we are witnessing a wave of abductions and arrests in Uganda being carried out by all manner of outfits. We see the army, military police, the regular police, LDUs, I suspect including witch doctors are involved because it seems everyone is arresting everywhere. But for the record, I would like to invite people in uniform not to go down with the regime because the trajectory of the regime is irreversible. Do not go down with the regime. Let the regime disappear and we continue our lives as Ugandans and reconstruct a new Uganda. Do not be tempted to abduct and harm citizens because you don't want to go down with the regime. After all, you don't know where it is going, but it's going anyway. So please don't allow yourselves to be used to go down and take your reputation down with the regime in the sewer. To the military, please take that invitation. It is humble, but we mean it. Don't go down with the regime. Let the regime go. Okay? We gave them a chance, they failed. Do not accept to be used by the military to abuse the rights of citizens, to arrest and kill citizens, because at the end of the day, we shall hand you as individuals. President, you can see now a lot of camouflage. For the first time, police has added something on their uniform. The heads are covered, the eyes are covered, and the name tags are removed. It's the new police uniform. Can I remind you that we know you even by your walk? We even know you by the way you stand. So do not attempt. We shall know who you are. So better do the right thing and leave the rest for us. Mubufunze basebo ne banyabo njagala okulisaayo President Kyagulanyi jasobodde okutambula bitundu bya Buganda ekimu ku byewonyo njakkirizibwa okutuuka mu bitundu ebimu netakkirizibwa kwogereramu okujjako nga akkiriza okwogera wakati mu tiyagas n'amasasi naye nga bayogera nabo bamaze okudduka mu lukande ekampeyini yaffe bwebadde naye gye tuyise yonna okwewaayo kw'abantu b'omu Buganda okujjako ng'obakubyeko nuclear bomb bajja kulonda NUP. Era njagala kugumya abo President gy'atatuuse tujja kusala amagezi abatuukeko. Olaba abantu bayita mu mazzi basobole okutuuka eri President. The President manyi naye amanyi okuwuga n'okudduka amanyi atalifiita ajja batuukako. Mulinde essaawa yonna era njala okutwala omukisa guno okutegeeza abasese nti enkya tuli butoola. Programu endala nga zimaze okutongozebwa, Ssaabawandiisi waffe ajja kuyisa ekiwandiiko ekitongole mu bitundu bya Buganda ebya gye tugenda okutuuka. Njala kwebaza bonna abalina kye bakoze, naddala abatwerekedde ejjo nga tuwerekera omwana waffe Frank eyatemulwa. Njala okutegeeza bana NUP ne bannayuganda mwenna abalwanirira enkyukakyuka nti okufa kujja kubaawo, naye n'okununulwa tekugenda kulemerera, tujja kutuuka. Njala kusembayo nga mpa amagezi abakuumaddembe. Ennaku zino mu bitundu bya Buganda bingi panda gaali yaddamu. Panda gaali ayogerwako ku mulembe gwa Kijambiya, obuntu namuyita ki, embeera eyakyamututte bukya yakomyewo. Bakwata abavubuka bangi nnyo, abamu bakwatibwa ne basabibwa ensimbi bateebwe, oba yeno embeera eyokutasasula abasirikale ensimbi zibagasa nga basazeewo bakozese bye balina bafune ekyokulya. Twagala okubawa amagezi bannaffe abali mu uniform, temukkiriza kugenda na gavumenti egenda, musigale mu uniform olw'omulimu gw'Abannayuganda. Kyenekakasa ne bwe mukola emisana n'ekiro temulina busobozi bugiremesa kuvaawo era ejja kuvaawo, ejja kugenda. So temukkiriza kugenda nayo gyeraga kuba temumanyiiyo. So temukkiriza kuyingira gye mutamanyi. Muleke abakulu abawulira nti balina obuyinza batambule olugendo lwabwe batuuke emirembe gye balaga. Musigale nga muli Bannayuganda, mukole omulimu gw'abambaza uniform. Mwayambala uniform okuma Bannayuganda, okukwata abantu kugenda mu maaso ne basibibwa mu bifo eby'enjawulo nga tewali ategeddeko. Poliisi ne yeegaana, amagye ne geegaana, simanyi babakwata oba basawo ba kinnansi oba bantu ba kikaaki. N'olwekyo tubasaba abali mu uniform ku lw'Abannayuganda okutyobola eddembe ly'Abannayuganda mukuviireko ddala, muli muteekebwako olukongo, kubanga mmwe nga Ssekinnoomu mujja kuteekebwako omusango gw'okubuzaawo abantu oba okutta abantu. Mwebalire ddala. Abalumba ofiisi zaffe baagenda n'ebyuma byange saasobola kulikodinga akayimba kubayimbiramu ddala.
Sebo tujja kukola fundraising tugulire ebyuma one of these days. Akayimba kaffe kave. Okay. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on 14th of January, Ugandans are going to elect a new president. And I'm glad that the incoming president is here with us. Your Excellency, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, please come and address us.
Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. NUP.
Thank you very much, Comrade Joey. Thank you very much for the strong messages, our dear Deputy President. And in a special way, I want to salute our female Deputy Presidents for having that extra touch, the musical touch. You see, they say being extraordinary does not take so much, it only takes that extra. So I salute you. Fellow Ugandans here with us today and those watching us from afar, I salute you and I thank you for standing strong amidst all these challenges. It has not been a very easy year, but the Almighty Lord has been with us, and I'm sure God is going to continue being with us, making us overcome all the challenges. Friends, you all have witnessed the brutality that we as a nation have been going through
not only the National Unity Platform, but all the people of Uganda. But for us as the National Unity Platform and People Power, as you know, ever since we announced to politically challenge General Museveni for the presidency, there has been untold brutality. We have seen murders of innocent Ugandans, from the days of murdering Yasin Kauma, Rita, Dani Cheyune, Mutiabule, and even recently when more than 100 Ugandans were murdered in cold blood by the police and the military, and other gun-wielding individuals that are not in any uniform, not police, not the military. We've seen abductions. Many of our colleagues are still missing, the likes of John Bosco Chibalama and others that did not get the opportunity to be known. We've seen arrests. Many of our colleagues are in prisons and other illegal incarcerations. We pray for them. We stand in solidarity with them. Many of our colleagues are in hospital, nursing wounds of police and military brutality. I want to send my condolences to the families of the many Ugandans that have been murdered by the state. Some years ago, the NRM Secretary General, Honorable Kasule Lumumba, said it in a mouth that the state will kill your children. The state has not stopped killing your children. The state continues to kill our children, continues to kill our mothers, our fathers, innocent citizens of Uganda. We condemn that in the strongest terms, and we assure them that we shall not relent, we shall not give up, we shall fight until we are free. I also want to reiterate it, that there has been a constant target on my life as an individual and on the lives of the people in my close working circle. As you all have noticed, there was a journalist that was covering events that are happening around me that was targeted and shot in close range with a rubber bullet, a one Moses Bwayo. We thank God that his life was not lost. The police targeted my close working comrade and music producer, Dan Magic. They shot him with a tear gas canister in close range and shattered his face. We thank God that doctors did all that is possible to recover what they could recover. And we thank God that Dan Magic is alive and with us today. Shameful and with no consideration, even with their fellow men and women in uniform, they attacked the head of my security team, a police officer called Afande Kato, who was attached to our team for security by the Electoral Commission, and you all know what they did to his eye. A few days later, still in what I believe was a target on my life, they instead got my close working ally and music partner, Nubian Lee, and hit him on the head. Now yesterday, in what I still strongly believe was a target on my life, they shot at a journalist called Kasirye Ashraf. Yesterday but one, sorry. They shot Kasirye Ashraf, and I'll shortly be giving you the details on him. Ladies and gentlemen, I must also mention that this regime is so scared, it is so panicky, that it comes and attacks every effort that relays what happens within the population. They are now targeting journalists. You all saw how an NTV journalist called Ali Mivule, was beaten, and the police officer targeted him and actually, before shot at him, said collateral damage and fired at him. Another journalist called Lutaya, we left him in hospital. All they fear are the cameras. So friends, now that we know what this regime fears most, it fears the truth. Please continue exposing this regime. Journalism is not a crime. We stand in solidarity with you, the journalists, and we thank you for also being firm, not taking that nonsense. I know that you walked out on a disrespectful communication from the police and the military. And even when we become government, please never take any humiliation as journalists. You are supposed to be respected. And I also, on the same note, want to encourage all our friends, all the freelance journalists, all the social journalists, all the people that carry cameras. First of all, I salute you. You are the biggest reason why we have kept alive. You are the only people, you are the only thing that the regime fears. The regime fears cameras because they know this is a different generation where they cannot control the media, where they cannot control the narrative. You are the people that relay the truth raw in its natural form. So please don't stop. Keep the cameras rolling. Keep live. I also want to condemn, ladies and gentlemen, the lies from the police and the lies from the military. You also, the police spokesperson who has become a shame to the world. A one Fred Enanga coming out to lie with impunity. To lie about the attack on journalists. The same way has been lying to the world about every single thing. The police spokesperson and indeed the Uganda police force should be ashamed of itself. Your duty is to protect and serve Ugandans, not to murder them and lie about their death. Also shameful enough, the spokesperson of UPDF came out to lie about the death of Frank. They killed Frank. They knocked him. And as if that was not enough, they reversed and finished him. They did that. They yesterday came out to lie that Frank fell off a truck. I challenged them to bring the CCTV footage. I know they will not. After they murdered Rita Nabukenya, they said they would provide the footage of the CCTV camera. Later on, they said the camera was not working at that time. I am very sure they're going to come out with an even more desperate lie. But the world is watching. People were there. And I know that the same way that the death of a great man that we have painted on our wall right there, Janan Wum, was killed in the Amin times, and the regime lied about his death. But the truth can be delayed, but it will never be buried forever. One day, the truth will be for everyone to see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to dwell a little more about the facts of Frank's death. Frank was knocked by a military police patrol car deliberately. They knocked him, they ran over him, they reversed and finished him. Yesterday at his funeral, we showed all of you the x-ray of the extent of the damage on his skull and the neck. They broke his skull in pieces. Frank could not survive and Frank died. But painfully enough, One of our comrades who worked on the security team with Frank came out of the car to come try save Frank. His name is Kawoya, also known as Puff. The military police descended on him and beat him mercilessly, also fracturing his skull, and is in critical condition today. All of you saw the footage. You saw the video of the military police descending on that young 23-year-old boy, beating him, clobbering him with gun butts and batons as if he was a criminal. Shame on those brutes. Just this morning, ladies and gentlemen, just this morning, an unknown car, which we suspect was also a regime car, knocked another member of our security team, Ashraf, and he has been rushed to hospital. They blocked all the roads accessing our office, but again, they left that space for them to carry out all their criminality. But we know that one day there will be an hour of reckoning. We know that. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, give you a little update on our brother Ashraf Kasirye. Ashraf Kasirye, all of you that have been watching Ghetto TV before it was hacked, and all of you that have been following and continue to follow Ghetto Media, that soft-spoken voice, the young man that was always inches besides me, that young man is called Ashraf Saif Kasirye, a journalist with Radio 1, but also a cameraman and a journalist with Ghetto Media and Ghetto TV. Since the beginning of the campaigns, we've been moving with him. He has covered all the police brutality. He has covered all the shootings. He covered the shootings in Jinja, where there was an attempt on my life, when the military shot bullets into our car and one shot went through the windscreen. And even hours before he was shot on the head, he covered a one Mafundo Mutera, the OC station of Chotera, and the military shooting at our car. I shared that video clip on my social media. Ashraf was shot close range on the head, on the forehead. The object with which he was shot shattered his skull. Part of his skull got severely broken. Many pieces of his skull bone fell out, and as you saw in the pictures, that white stuff were bits of his skull bone, and the doctors informed us that a few parts of the skull bone fell into the brain. His brain was open and some blood flowed into his brain. We are thankful to the Almighty God that Ashraf survived death. He's still alive. We were able to rush him to Rubaga Hospital. Doctors are doing everything that they can to save his life. You went through a successful operation. The blood that fell into his brain was removed and his brain was covered. However, he's unable to open his eyes. He's unable to speak. Doctors have informed us that for him to be able to open his eyes and open his mouth will take between 1 and 2 weeks. And by the grace of God, doctors have also informed us that for him to be able to see a person and recognize him or her, or to be able to speak something that he understands might take a month or two. We request all of you friends of Uganda to keep Ashraf Kasirye in your prayers. He was an innocent man. He was just a journalist doing his job. He was not a criminal, and we condemn the attack on Ashraf and all other journalists. We know that our other brothers and sisters from the journalism fraternity are steadily recovering. Mivule and Utaya, we pray for you, brothers and sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, in a very special way, allow me to appreciate the artists, the celebrities from the entertainment fraternity. Honestly, friends, I have always been feeling heartbroken to see that the artists whose voices are so powerful, whose success entirely relies on the common people, on the people of Uganda, their voice has been silent in the face of untold brutality, in the untold state murder. But I was very glad to see that many of them came out to condemn the police brutality, because it is wrong, no matter which political party, no matter which political persuasion you are. Brutality is wrong. Murder at the hands of the state is wrong. So I thank you, fellow artists, for coming out. And please continue speaking up for your fans, because you are the voices. Your voices are not only for entertainment. Your voices are supposed to be voices of reason. Your voices are supposed to be voices of the voiceless. I salute you and encourage you to continue speaking out. Don't only speak out when Nigerians are brutalized. Don't only speak out when foreigners are brutalized. Speak out for your people as well. They depend on you, they rely on you, they need you just as much as you need them. Thank you, fellow artists. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having saluted the fellow artists, allow me also to thank the people that are helping us with the struggle, but in a very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, the treatment of these colleagues has been and continues to be very expensive. In particular, the treatment of Ashraf Kasirye. It has been extremely expensive. So I want to thank the friends, the fellow Ugandans that have contributed to the treatment of Ashraf, those in the diaspora and those here in Uganda. Thank you very much. We wouldn't have been able to do this, but you have constantly stood with us, and of course those that contributed to the funeral arrangements of our brother Frank. Thank you very much for that heart. Let us continue doing what we are doing. Now, about the way forward. Of course, we all know that the regime is doing this to cut our speed. They're doing this to demoralize us. They're doing this to break our resolve. But I can assure you, Museveni and your cronies, tetugenda. Wow. We are not going to give up. We are going to liberate this country. We are going to be free, or we shall die trying to be free. We shall not give up. All this that you're doing to us is only giving us more reason to fight on. Before the brutal murder of Frank, maybe one would have given up. But now, what do you think we can pay for Frank's life other than accomplishing his mission?
Our power. People power.
So do what you are doing. Torture as many people as you can torture before we kick you the hell out. So ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to give up. We paused today because we had to address the nation, because we had to give this communication. But tomorrow, we are resuming. And like we've told the people of Uganda, we are coming to you in whatever form. We are coming to you. We are coming to you scientifically, we are coming to you technologically, and yes, we are coming to you physically. The people of Kalangala, we are coming to you tomorrow. The people of Bukoma, Simbi and Piji, we are coming to you the day after tomorrow. The people of the eastern, where we've not reached yet, in parts where we've not reached yet, and yes, the people of Uganda, where Museveni fears, where he's trying so hard to make sure we don't reach, we are coming to you. After using the Electoral Commission to block us from addressing the people of Mukono, the last time we were in Mukono, they tear gassed us. But after using the Electoral Commission to ban our campaigns in all these areas, yesterday I saw Museveni and I said, what kind of coward is this? What kind of hypocrite is this? What kind of hypocrite is the leadership of the Electoral Commission? But either way, we are coming to you. After all, they did not ban Sembabole. They did not ban Shere. They did not ban Luengo. They did not ban Kazo. They did not ban Mukono. But when we were in Mukono, they tear gassed us, they blocked us from addressing the people there. We did not address the people of Sembabole because when we reached there, the military, having paraded many young men and women in yellow t-shirts, when they saw us, they immediately came to us. The military unleashed brutality. They had to beat people in Sembabole. They blocked us from addressing them. They had to beat people in Rushere, those young men and women who could not take the lies anymore. Luengo was not banned by Electoral Commission when they blocked us from addressing those people. Kazo was not banned. So, banned or not banned, we are coming to those people and we shall talk to them. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, now before I give my final communication, I also want to condemn the brutal attack on my fellow presidential candidate, the Honorable Patrick Oboy Amuriat. You also, when the same criminal in police uniform, in the names of Asim Abraham, also known as Bravo, attacked him and pepper sprayed him. We know he's in hospital, and Honorable Power, we stand in solidarity with you. We also want to condemn in the strongest terms the brutal arrest of a renowned human rights lawyer, Nicholas Opio, and our human rights team, the 3 lawyers. They were brutally arrested by a panic regime. We join the world to demand for their unconditional release and for the respect of their rights. Now my message to the people of Uganda has been and continues to be that we shall come to you. It doesn't matter how biased the Electoral Commission is. It doesn't matter how many times they block us from coming there. We shall reach you and the message will get to you. In all ways, at least we know when they block the door, we go through the window, we do it in a Robert Dodd style. We will get to you. Now finally, I want to add my voice to the voice of the Deputy President in charge of the Buganda region, that we condemn the ongoing kidnaps of the people of Uganda by the military, by the police, and other unknown people wielding guns in plain clothes. We've seen videos going around and many other abductions have not been filmed, but we want to bring it to the attention of the world and to the attention of the international community. Please don't let the people of Uganda suffer in the darkness. We are part of the human family. We subscribe to the same protocols. We subscribe to the same values. We were also part of the Declaration of Human Rights. Please don't let the dictatorship of Museveni think that he is a demigod here. I've been calling upon you, and we continue to call upon you to make the observation of the rule of law and respect for human rights a precondition to cooperation with Uganda. Don't continue being seen as partners in crime with a brutal dictatorship led by General Museveni. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Katika mbide mu Uganda. Aba sebo ne banyabo mwenna bannayuganda banaffe abatulaba abali naffe wano leero n'abo abatulaba ku mikutu egy'enjawulo bitundu bya Uganda eby'enjawulo ne Bunaayira. Mbalamusaako nembebaza n'omutima ogutaggwaamu maanyi wakati mu kunyigirizibwa, wakati mu kusoomozebwa, wakati mu bizibu bituyitamu ng'eggwanga. Tunyolwa wamu n'abo abanyolwa, tukubagiza bannaffe famire za mikwano gyaffe egitemuddwa nga batemulwa abo abalina okubakuuma, nga batemulwa abapoliisi abali mu uniform, nga batemulwa abasirikale abali mu uniform, nga batemulwa emisana tuko ng'ensi eraba. Kyannaku nti emirembe egyo Mwami Museveni yabadde agamba nti yalwanyisa okujjawo ate akola ebikolobero ebisinga, akola ebive ebisinga ne ku byabo bagamba nti byalwanyisa. Kyannaku nnyo naye era tumanyi nti bannakyemalira bonna bonna bwe batyo bubiyisa nga babuzayo akaseera katono okugenda. Basebo ne bannyabo munajjukira nti okuva lwe twalangirira nga National Unity Platform nga People Power okuvuganya ku kifo ky'omukulembeze w'eggwanga ate nga tekimenya mateeka, tuze tulaba okunyigirizibwa, okutulugunyizibwa, ettemu erisusse. Maasoka ne mulaba poliisi n'amagye nga batta abantu ekyeyonondere, babatomeza emmotoka ezigulwa ssente z'omusolo, bakubwa amasasi, kuba Rita, Badani Cheyune, Bamutyabule, Bakimu Sekama n'abalala bangi. Era munajjukira tikabanga katono mwezi nga gumu n'ekitundu oguyise, poliisi n'amagye n'abakwata mundu abalala batali mu uniform batirimbula Bannayuganda mu mwezi gwa Novemba omwezi oguyise. Batta Bannayuganda abasukka mu 100 nga babatta ku biragiro bya Mwami Museveni. Tebakomyawo, bazze batemula Abannayuganda nga abalala babakwata ne bababuzaawo, abalala bali mu malwaliro, abalala bali mu makomera. Olunaku lw'eggulo twazise muganda waffe Frank Kalibala, twamuzise Masaka oluvannyuma lw'okuttibwa, lw'okutomerwa emmotoka ey'amagye. Twongera okutuusa okusaasira kwaffe eri famire ye n'okuyimirira awamu n'abo bannaffe abali mu makomera n'abali mu malwaliro. Njagala okukikalikatiriza nti mu ngeri ey'enjawulo poliisi n'amagye n'ebitongole ebikuumaddembe bibadde biruubirirwa kutemula nze ebiseera ebisinga obungi, kubanga abantu bonna bonna abambadde ku lusegere bentambula nabo mu mmotoka emu bazze batagetingibwa. Ng'ogyeko okusindirira emmotoka gye tutambuliramu amasasi omulundi ogutali gumu, emirundi egitali ebiri, emirundi egitannako 3. Bagenda ne batagetinga munnamawulire yali akwata ebifaananyi okutwetoloola, ne bamukuba rubber bullet ku close range nga bamulinaanye. Kubanga kwoyo badda ku producer waffe gwe bayita Dan Magic gwe ntambula naye mu motoka emu era atuyambako mirimu egy'enjawulo mu kampeni yaffe. Oyo bamukuba teargas canister gye nsuubira nti baali batagetinga nze ne bamwasaamu face, naye Katonda w'amaanyi tiakyali mulamu era agenda maaso n'okuwona. Mujjukira nti n'omusirikale yatuweebwa okunkuuma gwe bayita Fande Katonga yali akulira security team eyo, naye bamukuba eriiso, mwalaba ekyamutuukako. Tewaayita nnaku bbiri muganda wange gwe tukola naye era gwe tuyimba naye Nubianly naye bamutagetinga ne bamukuba ku mutwe. Kaakati lunaku lw'okwoseggulo nga tuli mu kitundu kye bayita Kyabakuza, nga tuli mu kkubo tutambula, bakikoze kagenderere nga ndi ebbanga eritaweza inches 10 okuva ku Ashraf Kasirye, bamukubye ku mutwe ne bamwasa omutwe ne bamubetenta n'akawanga. Muna kijjukira nti bano abantu babadde baluubirira nnyo bannamawulire kuba ku lunaku lw'okwoseggulo Ashraf Kasirye eka si gwe bakubye, ne munnamawulire gwe bayita Ali Mivule ne munnamawulire omulala gwe bayita Lutaaya nabo bakubiddwa era baddusiddwa mu malwaliro nga bapookya. Ate nga abakubi bannamawulire abo babadde babamanyi era omusirikale oyo bwe twategeddeko erinnya erya Abeine Enoch yasoose kutunuulira ku close range oyo munnamawulire n'amugamba collateral damage n'amukuba. So eyo yengeri bano abantu gye bayisaamu bannayuganda. Twagala okuyozaayoza bannamawulire olw'okuyimirira ku magulu gammwe ne mugamba ekimala tekimala, ne mulwanira eddembe lyammwe era ne mugaana okuwuddisibwa. Era tusaba ne bannayuganda abali eyo mu profession ez'enjawulo muleme kukkiriza kuwuddisibwa. Mulina okulwanira eddembe lyammwe musobole okukola omulimu gwammwe nga guweebwa ekitiibwa, tekimenya amateeka omuntu okulwanirira eddembe lye ery'obwebange. Muze mulaba abaganda bange nti bano abantu batya kamera era mu mbeera y'emu njagala nnyo okusaba wakati mu kwebaza abo abalala ba freelance journalists ababeera ku Facebook live, ababeera ku YouTube live, abakozesa essimu zaabwe okukwata n'okulaga ebifaananyi ebyebyo ebiba bigenda mu maaso. Mulabye nti gavumenti ya Uganda etya nnyo ensi yonna okumanya ettemu lyekola ku batuuze baayo. Ensonga lwaki bagenda ku Facebook ne mu Google okugezaako okuyimiriza akawunti zammwe, era muze mulaba nga bakinga akawunti zammwe kubanga batya nnyo kye mukola. Kale nno engeri gye mulabye nti babatya nnyo temukendeeza, nammwe temuzikiza, mugende mu maaso nga mubatunuzaamu kamera. Nze nga nkibagamba nti ekyokulwanyisa kye tulina ng'omugigi guno ye kamera. Buli woolabisa abatemu abo lazima nabo baba bakimanyi kuba bamanyi bannakyemalira bonna bwe bamaliriza. Baganda bange muzikirize n'okuvumirira obulimba obwabogezi ba poliisi n'amagye oluvannyuma lw'okutemula bannayuganda batalina musango. Mwami Enanga mwamuwulidde ng'avaayo ng'agamba tamanyi baani bakubye bannamawulire, n'omwogezi wa poliisi ow'amagye naye ng'avaayo ng'agamba nti Franka yabuuse bubuusi ku motoka n'agwa. Lunaku lwajjo nga tuzika Franka n'abalaze report eyavudde mu ddwaliro ne balaga x-ray engeri gye baalinye Franka, bamutomedde ne bamuyitako ne bakomawo ne bamubetenta omutwe, era mwalabye ebifaananyi bya x-ray nga bamwasiza yesizayi n'akawanga. So njagala okubasoomooza mu aboogezi ba poliisi n'aboogezi b'amagye mu buswavu bwammwe muggyeeyo footage wa CCTV camera alaga nti Franka si mwe mwamuse. Manyi temujja mujjayo nga bwe mwalimba nga mumaze okutemula Rita ne mugamba mugenda kujjayo fute ebifaananyi ebyo ne balema okujjayo. Era manyi timulowooza bannayuganda bagenda beerabira, naye bannayuganda tebeerabira kuba buli kimu kiri ku record. Emirembe giri babitugamba nga bugambi nga tuli baana bato, naye kati biri ku kamera, buli omu n'atamanyi kusoma ajja biraba n'amaaso ge. Bannaye munzikirize mbawe update ku mbeera ya muganda waffe Ashraf Kasirye. Ashraf Kasirye yaddusibwa mu ddwaliro Katonda yasaasira tumutuusa mu ddwaliro ng'akyali mulamu. Abasawo oluvannyuma lw'okumulongoosa bategeezezza nti Ashraf ddala kitwalaba kyali kituufu, kye baamukuba kyamubetenta akawanga, obwongo bwe ne bufuluma. Amagumba g'akawanga gamu ne gagwa eweeru ate amalala ne gagwa munda, n'omusaayi ne gumuyiika mu bwongo. Naye twebaza Katonda nti abasawo baafubye okukola kye basobola okumunaazaamu omusaayi ogwabadde guyise mu bwongo n'okugyayo amagumba agabadde gaguddeyo. Ashraf akyali mulamu. Abasawo bakola kyonna ekisoboka okutaasa obulamu bwe. Ashraf tasobola kugulawo maaso ge, tasobola nakwogera, naye ng'ebitundu eby'omubiri ebisigadde byo biramu, n'engalo zeenyeenya n'amagulu gamuvinga. Abasawo batutegeezezza nti obuvunde bwe bwamutuuseeko obwabadde bw'amaanyi, ali mu mbeera mbi, naye batutegeezezza Katonda bw'akkiriza Ashraf ajja kuba asobola okugulawo amaaso ge mu kiseera wakati wa wiiki emu oba wiiki bbiri, ajja kuba asobola okugulawo amaaso ge, ajja kuba asobola n'okwasama ayogere. Nera batutegeezeza nti ne bw'anaaba asobola okwogera oba okutunula, ajja kuba tasobola kutegeera abantu baalaba oba okutegeera byayogera. Naye ne batutegeeza okusobola okutegeera omuntu gw'atunuulidde oba okutegeera byayogera kiyinza otutwalira ng'omwezi gumu, wakati w'omwezi gumu n'emyezi ebiri. Naye batugumizza nti Ashraf Katonda abanakkiriza ajja kuba bulungi, ajja komawo mikono gyaffe, mukwano gwaffe. Njagala okubasaba mugende maaso n'okusabira Ashraf, naye n'okubasaba n'okubeebaza mwenna abavuddeyo ne mutudduukirira mu kujjanjaba Ashraf. Treatment ya Ashraf ebadde ya bbeeyi nnyo era egenda mu maaso okubeera ey'ebbeeyi. Bannaffe bangi nnyo be baayisiza obubi nga Kapaafu gwe bakubye naye ne bamwasa akawanga, tebali bubi nnyo nga Ashraf. Ashraf embeera ye ebadde enzibu n'obujjanjabi bwe bwa bbeeyi nnyo. Naye njagala okwebaza mwenna abasonze ssente okuyamba Ashraf. Tetufunye buzibu mu kumusasulira eddwaliro. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala. Bannayuganda bali wano n'abali emitala w'amayanja. Njagala okwebaza mwenna abatuyambye mu kuwerekera muganda waffe, okumuziika mu kitiibwa n'okuddukirira famire ye muganda waffe Franka. Mukama abawe nnyo, abaddizeewo mwenna. Bannaye munzikirize mu mbeera y'emu neebaze bayimbi bannange, neebaze ba celebrities, neebaze ne ba public figure. Okumala ebbanga ddene nze ng'omuntu kibadde kinnumira muli naye nga nkisirikira, naye mmanyi nga kiruma nammwe bannayuganda okulaba nti bannabitonde bannaffe weewaawo bangi nnyo badde bavaayo ne bositula amaloboozi gaabwe ku lw'abannayuganda, naye kibadde tekinabeera nga bwe kyabadde. Banaye mwebale nnyo bannabitonde, mwebale nnyo ba artist, mwebale nnyo ba sports people, mwebale nnyo ba celebrities, mwebale nnyo bannayuganda mwenna, naddala mu abamanyiddwa ennyo, abamanyiddwa abantu abangi abalina amaloboozi amanene. Mwebale nnyo kuvaayo ne musitula eddoboozi lyammwe okwogera amazima oba toli mu byabufuzi, okwogera nti munnayuganda temumutta oba toli mu byabufuzi. Naawe omuyimbi, naawe omuzanyi w'akatemba, naawe artist, naawe poet, oli munnansi era poliisi erina kukuma kyekimu. So mwebale nnyo kuvumirira obutemu obukolebwa ku bannayuganda, nga bukolebwa gavumenti, nga bukolebwa ebitongole ebirina okubeera nga biyitibwa bikuuma ddembe so si bisaanyaawo ddembe. Mwebale nnyo era njagala obbasaba bannange temusirika. Bano abantu balina amaloboozi gaabwe baagawammwe, mugakozese okubalwanirira era mujja kulaba nabo nga bwe bayimirira okulwammwe. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Kakati bangi mumanyi nti bino gavumenti ya Mwami Museveni ebikola kutumalamu maanyi, kutunafuya, kulaba ngetusala speed kulaba ngetujja ku mulamwa njagala okukakasa mwami Museveni titetugenda kuzikiza njagala okutegeeza mwena bannayuganda titetugenda kugwa maanyi era mbasaba temugwamu maanyi kuba kyetuliko si kikyamu mu maaso g'amateeka tuli batuufu mu maaso g'abannayuganda kyetukola kituufu mu maaso ga Katonda tuli batuufu kyova olaba Katonda tuyambe so tetugenda kuzikiza era njagala kuyima wano nangirire nti olunaku lw'enkya tugenda Kalangala abantu b'e Kalangala mutulinde tujja tubakubemu kampeyini tubatuuzeko enjiri eyo era tubasabe akalulu kemanyi obulungi timujja katuwa abantu b'Empigi abantu b'e Bukomansimbi n'ebitundu ebirala byonna tujja mutulinde tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ne mwami byabakama nga bakolera ku biragiro bya Museveni oluvannyuma lw'okuva e Masaka oluvannyuma lw'okuva e Kampala yabalagidde ne basazaamu campaigns kubanga batya mwami Museveni oluvannyuma lw'omukuba akavulu ewuwe yennyini erushere oluvannyuma lw'okumulaga nti talina buwagizi ekiruhula baswadde nnyo ate baatidde nnyo ne bagamba tikati abantu beetaaga bakuba miggo okubalemesa okujja okutuwagira gye baadde basuubira nti gye balina obuwagizi kinaabeera kitya nga tuyingidde wano ensonga lwaki ebitundu ebisinga naddala gye tusinga obuwagizi basazaamu kampeyini ate mwattu kya buswavu nti olwamaze okusazaamu kampeyini olunaku lweggulo n'alabye mwami Museveni ng'ali mukono ng'akuumibwa poliisi n'amagye ng'abantu be bawa t-shirt ne bawa ssente bali ku nguudo bamulinze ne neewuunya obunnanfuusi bw'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ne neewuunya obunnanfuusi bwa mwami Museveni naye mmanyi nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda tekagenda kubaako kikoogera. I know the Electoral Commission is going to be conspicuously silent. That is how they have been. Clearly they are not in charge of this election. Sibe batambuza bino ebyokulonda naye njagala okubategeeza mwenna nti Elwengo akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kabadde tekaweze campaign ne poliisi nekozesa eryanyi erisukiridde netulemesa okugendayo esembabule akakiiko kali tekaweze campaign naye amagye ga SFC oluvannyuma lw'okukuŋŋaanya abavubuka ne babawa t-shirt za yere za Museveni nga baagala balage nti tetulina buwagizi mwana watu ate bwe twatuka nabo amasannyalaze ne gabalinnya nabo ne bawagira muffe mwena mwabiraba amagye ga SFC agakulemberwa mutabani gwa Museveni ne gaswala ne gaddamu kuba bantu bennyini be bawadde t-shirt zaabwe ate nga bawakuba kibuuku kubanga nabo bawanika kikundi bawagira emukono bwe twagenda okwogera n'abantu akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kaali tekaweze campaign naye mwalaba poliisi n'amagye bwe bakuba abantu ne bakuba tiyagasi wona ne balemesa okwogera nabo erushere nekazo bali tebaweze campaign naye batulemesa okwogera n'abantu so oba baweze campaign oba tebaziweze tetujja basalako tujja batuukako mu ngeri yonna oba batuuseeko scientifically oba technologically oba physically tujja batuukako kye mubamanya tujja batuukako mu style gye bayita Robert style tujja batuukako bano tebakusobola bano generation gye badiringa nayo ndala nnyo so tujja batuukako mu mikwano gyaffe obaka bwe njagala okuweereza bannayuganda njagala bagamba mpeere bagumu mwebereremu buli omu asitukiremu buli omu gyali tumanyi mwami Museveni kyateekateeka okukola takyalina kyalimba bannayuganda kati akozesa lyanyi ate nga ne lyanyi terijja mutaasa kuba bannakyemalira bonna bonna bakoze nga ye nga bali ku mugo ogw'okugenda njagala okuvumirira ennyo obulumbaganyi obwakoleddwa ku kandidate munnaffe wa FDC Honorable Patrick Omulyato Boy tujuyomu ayambala uniform ya police gwe bayita Asimwe Abraham abangi gwe bayita Bravo yamufuide ebiragalagala maaso era kati ali mu ddwaliro. Tuyimiridde naawe muganda waffe era tusaba Mukama akusuuse bulungi newankubadde tugenda kuwangula naye naawe tukusaasira munnaffe tukwagala tuli mu lutalo fena twesimbyewo era buli candidate alina okuweebwa ekitiibwa. So we stand in solidarity with you our comrade. Twagala okuvumirira nesekuvumirira yenna obulumbaganyo bwakolebwa era n'okusibwa kwa omulwanyizi w'eddembe Nakinku Nicholas Opio ne balooya baffe abakola mu Human Rights Office yaffe basatu abakwatiddwa era tugatte eddoboozi lyaffe ku maloboozi amangi agakoola okutebwa kwabwe embagirawo. Basebo ne bannyabo muze mulaba okwatibwa n'okuwambibwa okw'abantu. Mulaba nti Pandagaali yazzeemu. Mwami Museveni byagamba nti yalwanyisa abikola kati ate akubisaamu n'abo be yalwana nabo emirundi mingi. Ne Museveni twagala kutegeeza nti togenda kuwangula, tugenda kuwangula.
Mateeka.
Tosobola kutuuta n'otumalawo. Amakomera tegasobola tuteekayo ne gatumalawo. Byonna byonna ogenda bikola bikuyamba kwerabisa, bikuyamba kweyanika obutiitiizi bwo, bikuyamba kulaga nsi kito kyalina kyotugamba. Nze nga nkugamba era nkugamba n'olwaleero tulina option kati aki yakuwa bannayuganda kitiibwa ne tukuwangula mirembe ne tukwerekera bulungi n'ogenda n'owummula. Mutakola ekyo ogenda kumaliriza oli mu kasasiro wa byafaayo nga mikwano gyo Bagaddafi, Bamugabe, Bashir.
Wow, Mr. President, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu nga amaze okwogerako eri ensi.
Okay.
People power.
All right. I don't know if there's 2 or so questions from the media. If there be any, we respond to those very quickly, and then we shall depart. I see my mind is complaining. Is there any questions? Or sometimes we finish and leave, and the media says, "But you didn't give us a chance to ask questions." So the chance is there. But if there's no question, we can't. Okay, there's one there.
Okay, my name is Julius. I'm from NGO.
Yes, Julius.
Yes, I know we talk with this meeting with the ban also is going to be. So, what, how are you perceiving this submission?
Okay, he's asking how we are perceiving Museveni's submission that the ban includes him.
What should be done before it happens?
Come again.
What would we have?
Just move to us so I can hear you, my brother. Okay, is there any other? Okay, that's a simple one. Our perception of Museveni's views on the ban, like our presidential candidate has told you, these orders clearly are coming from one person, Mr. Tibuhaburwa. He's the one who has always guided the Electoral Commission on what to do. You remember they first went and sought audience with him at State House, and he told them how they should run the election. Shortly after that meeting, they issued directives on how the election is going to happen. So even this particular situation is clearly happening on the orders of candidate Tibuhaburwa. You remember that candidate Timo Habura's campaigns are ending this week. And so he clearly honored the EC not to let us continue with the campaigns because for him, he has run out even of ideas. That's why he's looking to poach, people from us using money because the ideas are not there. That's why he's finishing campaigns 2 weeks to the end of campaigns. And so the EC got orders from him to stop the rest of us. So it's very clear. That was very pretentious of him to say, now you see, even me, I've been caught in the ban by the EC. If he was caught in the ban by the EC, what was he doing in Mukono yesterday? Because Mukono is one of those districts where campaigns were banned because apparently the COVID spread, the rate is so high. But he was there yesterday, only pretending and saying, no, I've not come to campaign today because I'm in a suit. But people who are being given t-shirts and money all over the place has been happening elsewhere. So it's very pretentious of him. In as far as what maybe the EC should have done before issuing all these orders, we again are trying to understand, did the EC follow the law to the letter? Yes, they're the superintendents of the entire campaign process. But also, it's always good that we operate in consultation because we are all stakeholders in this whole process. So the same way they get orders from candidate Timo Habura, let them at least seek our views on many of these different things, such that we are on the same page. Because the EC, for example, said campaigns in these districts, in these different areas, should be on radio. And you have been seeing what's been happening to our presidential candidate. He's been denied access to radio stations and all these different things. So what does the EC want us to do? It's very disturbing. Ensonga ya mwami Timo Habura okugamba nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda naye kamukwatidde amateeka ge kaayise kyabunnanfuusi omukulembeze waffe bw'agambye tukiddamubuzi kubanga akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kafunye ebiragiro okuva ewa mwami Timo Habura. Mwami Timo Habura kampeyini ze ziggwa wiiki eno era kuba akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ekiragiro tinaffe bayimirize kampeyini zaffe kubanga ye talina kyagamba bannayuganda ffe tukirina ekyokugamba bannayuganda naye ye takirina kyovuddwa olaba kampeyini ze aziyimiriza nga wabulayo wiiki singa 2 kampeyini nga zikyagenda mu maaso. So clearly yabadde yeebuzaabuza kubanga bw'agamba nti amateeka akakiiko ke kaayisiza naye gamukwata yabadde akola ki emukono eggulo. Yabuzaabuziza nti asijje za campaigninga zize mu suuti naye nga t-shirt bazigaba ne sente. So kino kikolwa kya bunnanfuusi. Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda tukasaba tutambule wamu kubanga naffe tuli ba stakeholder mu kaweefube ono ow'akalulu. Bifo gy'okufuna ebiragiro okuva ewa mwami Timo Habura naffe twebuuzengako mu nsonga zino. Wakati bagambye nti campaigns tujja zikoleranga ku radio n'ebirala ebikutu ebirala mu zi districts zino ze baweze campaigns. Naye akakiiko kakimanyi tukabuulidde ensonga zino tukawandiikidde emirundi egiwerako ddala. Candidate waffe nga bamugaana okugenda ku radio. Kati akakiiko kaagala tukole ki? I think that answers that. That should be okay. Just one final question, and now the questions you have remembered. Okay, sir.
Niyanziza ane munasonyiwa eddoboozi lyange si ddungi tiyagaasa lijjudde ennaku zino. Amannya Sematimba Bwejeere okuva ku Radio Simba ne Ghetto Media. Ekibuuzo kyange kigenda eri Honorable Kyagulanyi Direct. Twawuliddeko nti eggye lya UPDF liteekateeka okuziikula omulambo gwa Franka basobole okwekebejja okufuna ddala obukakafu obulaga nti oba ddala yatomerwa obutomerwa era singa kino kinaaba kibaddewo okusookera ddala basoose ne bagamba nti aba NOP oba aba People Power mumwe abalemesezza okgenda okwekebejja omulambo guno naye kino singa kinaaba kikoleddwa kitegeeza ki eri bannansi era mukiwaako magezi ki?
Yes, sir.
Ekyange kijawujjo zeesesanga mu bantu abawambibwa mu kaseera kano n'okusinga nga ba national platform obaolya nga ekibiina mulinako ku bantu bameka abaakawambibwa era kwabo abantu waliwo ko emudukiriddeko mu mbuga ez'amateeka ne banunula okuva mu buwambe era bebabaawo bali bameka. Then waliwo n'abagenzeko mu mbuga ez'amateeka babeerawo waliwo abanunuddwa era bali bameka okuva mu buwambe.
Yes, Jingo Francis. Bana bakulu abali awo tusaba tusirikirire mu kontu malirize.
We have heard that from the president saying that he has always been the target. After missing the target, it has been shifted to journalists. My experience is that this is made to instill fear among journalists. We saw one of the bodyguard being run over police, military car, as you are saying. It appears that your security team is at threat. We have just seen a young man whom I'm told he also belongs to a security team. His leg has been fractured allegedly by people who are trailing him. Can you throw more light on what is happening to your security team, because it appears there is a deliberate effort to train that team?
Okay, thank you. Some of these actually our candidate has really spoken about them. It will perhaps just be repetition. But beginning with Mr. Sesanga, people who are being abducted, our candidates. Again, like we are saying, the regime is using all manner of avenues. If they try and reach out to somebody with money and the person says, no, me, I'm solidly NUP, I want change, I don't want your money, then they decide to attack that person. So a number of our colleagues, we have learned, they have been abducted. Yesterday we got news of our candidate for Youth MP Eastern, Menya Brian. You know, he was dumped somewhere in bad shape. And this morning we saw land of another colleague of ours who has been abducted. His whereabouts are not known. So really these are the tactics used by all dictatorships. Like we have told you about Idi Amin Dada, abducted Janani Lumu, killed him and then said it was the same. So the same script is being replayed. It's nothing new. But for us, we are resolute, like we are saying. These acts are meant to intimidate us, they're meant to cut our speed. But now we know that we must press further. The change must happen sooner for these acts to end. Because if change doesn't happen, all of us might die with that kind of situation. So we know that we must keep pushing a lot harder than ever before. My brother Jingo asks about, yes, our presidential candidate has been targeted severally. His life has been on the line. He was targeted in Arua. His driver, Yasin Kauma, took the bullet for him. He has told you about these other colleagues that have been targeted, Dan Magic was hit. That hit was meant for Honorable Chagulanyi. Ashraf Kasidi was hit. He was next to Honorable Chagulanyi. It was meant for him. His life is on the line. But I reiterate what he has said severally, that this is not about him. He has said it time and again that even if Museveni kills him today, the millions of Ugandans are still around. The millions of Ugandans want change. The struggle will continue, regardless. Those have been his words severally. I'm only reiterating them. Banafe abaze bawambibwa owaonga bwetubagambye nti gavumenti yamwamiti buhabulwa ekozesa obukodyo bwanjawulo batuukirira abakandideti baffe okugezaako okubabula naye abasinga baganye n'agamba nze siri wa ssente zinjagala nkyukakyuka kati abantu ab'ekika bwe batyo abagaana batandika ate kubatunuza mu mundu kubawamba. Eggulo twafunye obubaka munnaffe Menya Brian abadde agenda okwesimbawo ku Youth MP Eastern Uganda yawambibwa era ne bamubalina gye bamusudde ng'ali mu mbeera mbi. Ne ku makya leero tufunye obubaka obulala munnaffe omu eyawambiddwa. So gavumenti zonna ez'abannakyemalira bweziti bwe zikola ebintu twabulidde nga Amini bwe yakolanga n'awamba Bajanani Luwumu n'abatta n'alimbalimba nti accident. So noono kyakola kye kimu naye ffe tugamba nti tuli banywevu era nga tuli bamalirivu okukyusa gavumenti kubanga kitulagira ddala nti gavumenti eno bwetakyuka bannayuganda bangi bagenda kufa bajja kutulugujizibwa. Mukulu Jingo ayogedde ku nsonga ya security ya candidate waffe. Candidate waffe kabaza abagamba obulamu bwe buli mukati matiga buli mukati abaga bagezaako kumutta mu Arua Yasin Kauma yatwala essasi lye n'ensangi zino nga bamutagetinga ne bakuba Mudani Magic yamuli okumpi juzi bakubye Ashraf Kasidi yamuli okumpi. So obulamu bwe buli matiga naye nga bwazza abagamba yakuddamu jazza abagamba ndi kino tekiri kuye
nti Mwami Museveni ne bw'atyo Kyagulanyi leero bannayuganda 10,000 miliyoni ne miliyoni gye bali baagala nkyukakyuka struggle ejja kweyongera ng'egenda maaso. There was a specific question to our presidential candidate, Wejire, who was asking, so the UPDF says that they'll exhume Frank's body and all of that. I don't know if you want to take it on. Thank you very much, Bobiwine. Chide mu Luzungu, Uganda. Bobiwine akyagala mu Uganda. Ssematemba Bobiwine abuuzizza nti amagye gavuddeyo nga gagamba nti twabalemesezza kujja okwekebejja omulambo gwa muganda waffe Frank. Era webaze ne tukola effujjo ne tugenda ne tumuziika nga tebakoze postmortem. Kyanaku nnyo bannange okulaba nti amagye gaffe gakiikirirwa mu ngeri eswaza, teswaza buswaza naye wemula. Naye era tumanyi obuzibu aboogezi b'amagye n'aboogezi ba poliisi bwe babeerako. Era ebiseera ebimu mu kifo ky'okunyiigira enanga oba omwogezi w'amagye tubasaasira busaasizi, kubanga ebikolobero bino omuntu okubinyonyola abantu tekiba kyangu. Munajjukira nti eddwaliro ly'e Lubaga lyasaliddwako amagye Frank weyafiiridde, era ffe twavuddeyo nga amagye ge gatuwerekera okututuusa ewaffe. Frank olunaku lw'okoseggulo ng'amaze okufa, nga bamaze okumwekebejja n'omukolako mu ddwaliro n'okutuwa omulambo gwe n'okutuwa medical report n'okutuwa byonna ebifa ku nfaayi, twamuleese wano. Famire ye yatukkiriza, kubanga bwe mumanyi bulijjo omuntu afudde mu nfa ey'akabenje tebalwawo okumuziika. Frank famire ye yatukkiriza okujja okumukungubagirayo wano essaawa emu n'eddakiika entonotono, era twamuleese wano ne tusimbula wano ku ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro. Ekkubo lyonna lijjudde zi road block, ekkubo lyonna okutuuka e Masaka, era okugyako emmotoka ey'omulambo yokka gye bakkiriza okuyitawo. Abalala bonna bagenze ku makya kubanga zaabadde ssaawa za kafyu. Kinajjukirwa era nga bannamawulire abasinga bwe mwakirabye nti ekkubo lyabadde lijjudde road block, nga nze ng'omuntu tebaagala ngende kuziika ne bannaffe abamu, era twasalinkiriza mu bukubu bweyo bwa mukyalo ffe okutuuka ng'omulambo gwayise edda ku main road ne gutuuka. So kya buswavu nnyo okuba nti amagye gavaayo ne gagamba nti ffe abantu ababadde babadduka tusobole okutuuka gye baziika, ti ate ffe twabalemesezza, titwabataddeko embeera ne tubasinga amaanyi, nga be babadde bakudde balina emmundu, be balina zitiyagasi, be balina abasirikale n'abapoliisi ababadde babembedde ku nguudo. Nalabye n'okulaba nti bagambye mu kiwandiiko kyabwe nti okusobola okutuuka e Masaka amangu, kubanga wabadde wala bakozesezza nnyonyi helicopter. Ebyo nno byabadde mu kiwandiiko ky'amagye kyanaku, naye tetulabanga abatukudaalira, tulabanga abatutyoboola, tulabanga abatyoboola obulamu n'ekitiibwa kya muganda waffe Frank. Naye ebyo byonna basobola obikola, basobola obyogera olwogezaako okubikirira omusango, naye amazima weegali. Ripooti y'okufa kwa Frank weeri, death report weeri, na byonna nga bwe tuze tubibalaga weebiri. Ate gye bakoma ng'omuntu omu yagamba ekima gyekoma okuwalampa omuti, gyekoma okwolesa obwerere bwayo. So gye bakoma okwogera ku nsonga eno, gye bannansi gye nsaba nabo okwongera okuginoonyerezaako ennyo. Byonna byonna ebituufu weebiri, tweteeseteese bibateerawo era tuli biteekawo, era ne bwe tuvaawo wano kati mbasaba mwenna abakozesa social media muveeyo amazima ago mugabateerewo. Nkakasa bajja kuswala nga bwe badde baswala ebbanga lyonna. Noze ekyo ne bwe sikiddamu mu Luzungu.
Wow. Our President, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Thank you everybody for coming.
Sina kintu nkudiramu buli kimu okitegedde buli kimu okitegedde Geoffrey Mutalya GM eyasalawo media olunaku olw'enkya twolekera Kalangala.
All right, friends, thanks for watching, thanks for joining in. Before I say anything, let me also add my voice to that one of the president in thanking you guys for contributing to Ashraf's treatment costs. Thank you, friends who are in JB Muwonge WhatsApp group, that is JB Muwonge WhatsApp group 1 and JB Muwonge WhatsApp group 2. You guys contributed over 3,080,000 Ugandan shillings, and then 1 million went for preparations of our comrade Frank through Sawada Madada, and then the 2 million we handed it over to the ghetto media management team to go towards this treatment of our comrade Ashraf Kasiri. Friends, thank you a lot. Thank you friends in JB Muwonge WhatsApp group 1 and JB Muwonge WhatsApp group 2. Bambi, thank you so much. But Bambi, this is my humble request. Let us keep praying for our brother Kasiri Ashraf. I surely miss him so much. But I keep praying. He's going to be fine. Yes, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Tomorrow it is Kalangala. The president is heading to Kalangala, and I encourage you to download the speeches. I have already uploaded all the speeches on our YouTube channel. Very soon they are going to be premiering the speeches of the president, the Uganda version and then the English version, and then the speeches of our deputy presidents, that is Jole Mugisha for Western Uganda, Dr. Lina Zedwiga, Northern Uganda, and then our Deputy President of Uganda region, Honorable Matthias Mpuga. I have already cut those speeches. Let us separate them. Thank you very much. Should I bring you Segirinya Muhammad?
Chewuya era ekyo kituluma nesekuuma yenna n'olwekyo enkya fenna tugenda kubeera wali ebusega ew'ekipande gyetoolola tusabirewo n'essaala kubanga ekyo kati kyekijjukizo kya Fulanka, n'olwekyo yenteekateeka eriwo olunaku olw'enkya. Tukooya abasajja bano otutiririmbula ne bwe banabanga basenze Segirinya we banzitidde wenfiiridde ekipande we mukiteeka ate muteekawo ogulene ne bwe luguudo ate si mulusibe n'ekipande tumanye nti eryekkubo lyazibwa battirawo gundi tugenda okukola abasajja bano, n'olwekyo nawunda bawutwe yerusega enkya abasirikale batera okubeerawo enkya tubawadde public holiday temubeerawo, tugenda kujjawo tubawadde public holiday tetusangawo yadde omusirikale olunaku olw'enkya tubeegayire tetubasangawo mugende mulonde ebijanjalo bye mwagabanga ebyakawukuumi oba temulina byakukola mugende mulonde ebijanjalo ebyakawukuumi bye mwagabanga abantu balinga tebalina bye, n'olwekyo tubawadde ebyokukola mbere mu yunipoti bwammwe enkya temujjaawo kulawundi tugenda kubaawo nga tukola omukolo ogw'okulabanga tujjukira muganda ffe Fulanka eyattiddwa emisana ttuku ng'enseera baŋŋanze muganda wange gwe yali naye mutogikwatako n'ambeereramu ne tutambuza sitwago siyinza kutuula nga Fulanka omwoyo gwe gugenze mu ŋŋenda bwetyo bamusse mu nzita bwetyo ne tusirika busirisi bano abasajja tutabakole bwe bati bagenda kutta abantu bangi, n'olwekyo kampeeni gye tutandise gwe batta wetuteeka ekipande gwe batta wetuteeka ekipande gwe batta buli muntu ne waabazze ng'agamba awo battirawo omuntu battirawo mwana wa sitwago battirawo omuntu wa sitwago battirawo omuntu wa sitwago bwetyo bwe tugenda okubeera nga tulabisa abasajja
okwogera kw'amagye okuvaayo okugamba nti bagenda kuzuukula oba kuziikula omubiri gwa muganda waffe Frank okyogerako
entaana ya Frank tugenda gera tugikuume tugenda kubeerawo tulaba akasajja akajja nga keereeta tugenda gera tugikuumi actually kati emirimu gyonna olumala okusimba wali ekipande e Busega nga tugenda entaana ya Frank tugenda gisulako kyetugenda okukola wabeewo akasajja akajja nga keereeta kekagenda okuzigwamu jjukira sibaddewo Segirinya badde South Africa nafunye obukodyo nsobola obuuka mu bbanga kati mbalayo eddakiika 2 nga sinnadda naye gwengwira wansi yampulira sibaddeewo mbadde noonya bukodyo ndi muzibu nnyo kati era kati poliisi okujja wendi eyinza okuzitulanga era bwemusajja gwejja kutakatabawo nga basiba bati nga balaba sivaawo obukodyo bupya nazze nabo era abaana ba NUP bonna ngenda kububawa basobole okumanya nti kati tutandiseewo ate essuula empya wano nga twolekera okubeera nga tugenda mu kalulu ka 14 tulonde mukama waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu tutandise okwongeramu ebirungo ebyenjawulo ate nazze n'obukutiya obwo babumpadde omusirikale yenna gwe tukwata ng'akoze fujjo tumuteeka mu kakutiya nga tusibako waggulu nga tuwumuza wali tumuteeka mu kakutiya n'obukutiya nabo nazze nabo nolwekyo naffe tutandiseewo kati enkola ey'okwebeereramu musajja butulugunyiza ebbanga netuga tetugenda kutuula nolwekyo abo abaagala okuziikula Frank eyabalula esiiridde mbabuulira mazima tugendagenda tusaleko tutuule waawo tulaba akasajja akeereeta ke kajja okukakasa nti tuli bakamba baana ba NU.
Ensonga ya Frank ng'ogimaliriza kigambibwa nti Frank abadde awangalira mu constituency gy'ogenda okukiikirira ey'akawempe bannakawempe mukyogerako
abannakawempe era tuteekateeka okuyita press conference twogere ku kintu ekyo naye nga press conference ennabaawo tugenda soka tuwe Frank ekijjukizo wali ku roundabout olusaga we bamutira tusimbewo ekipande then we tuvaayo tujje tuwe Frank mu kawempe ekkubo tugenda muwa oluguudo mu kawempe ga Frank ebigendererwa bye n'okulwana kwe n'amaanyi ge gonna g'atadde mu struggle ate tumanye nti waliwo ekkubo baliyita Frank Road awo lyennyininyini eryokubiri tugenda dituma Frank Road kubanga wabadde awangalira era wabadde akolera lwekyo ebintu bya Frank byo ekyamazima kiri tebinnaggwa tukyalwana paka nga amagye gavuddeyo ne googera ekituufu paka nga poliisi evuddeyo neyogera ekituufu naye poliisi yatunyizizza nnyo yatukabiza amaziga ate ne beerabisa sigundi nevaayo exure lisasi ne zivaayo nga ziraga Uganda ffe bamulinya omutwe ne bagubetenta ne badda n'emabega ne bamubetenta omutwe kugamba babuli amazima beerabisizza nnyo naye their days are numbered 14 ebyo ne byonna lwe tubiwona tuleete omukulembeze agenda okubeera nga anunula eggwanga lino Uganda gwe bayita Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Kyewajje South Africa eri bannayuganda abali mu struggle
byenaleese bingi nnyo ebimu nabihandinze Dover eri bakama bange era bajja beera nga babigaba mpolampola naye abadde banteeze ku airport nga nzija babinzijjeko abantu be bantisse eri naye Seginya nange eri musajja mugezi ennyonyi sajjira mu zino ezisaabuza abasaabaze najjira mu yakago kati yensonga lwaki bye naleese nasobodde okubituusa ne bwadde bunteeze kamera zaffe buzitwale ze naleese amasimu bugatwale bambi bwakamya ennume natuuse dda era bwadde bumanyi nti enzija yange eri eyogamba kati nsimbudde enzija gye bwabadde bulinda naye bwekanze nga Segirinya nalandinzeewo dda natuuse dda because ennyonyi gye nagiddemu ya migugu wansi eyo yensonga lwaki ebintu nasobodde okubituusa olwekyo abo abasajja tubasinga tubali ahead tubali maaso nolabo Kyagulanyi tugala tukose.
All right, friends, allow me, we are going to shift and go to our new page, New Generation TV. I want us to start premiering for you the speeches. Yes, yeah. Allow me do that. Let us change and we go to our second YouTube channel. That is the New Generation TV. Yeah, let me actually share you with the link. And then I start giving you the speeches. Yeah, we are shifting on the other side. Here is the link. I'm sharing you with the link to our New Generation TV, where I'm going to take this live broadcast of after this Segirinya Muhammad and all these other leaders that you are seeing speaking. So there is the link. I'm going to turn off this. I'm turning off this because I want to start giving you the speeches. Yeah, there is the link, guys. Just click on that. It's already playing the other side.